freaking crooked. Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, or good whenever you watch this. Good day, folks. It's dreary here in the Northeast. It's supposed to rain later. And I'm not in for another day of rain. I'm not a rain person, unless I'm not going anywhere. I'm not having the dog. I always feel bad when it rains. I just love rainy days. Not anyway, because I think it looks super cool. Yeah, they're super cool. They're my superhero glasses. Now I become Dish with D, fighter of all calories, able to leap tall sandwiches at a single bound. Yeah, don't I wish tall sandwiches? I wish I have any sandwich. Oh, it's not raining. Wipers off. Not raining yet anyway. So we had really good discussion on Sunday night on Tea with D. If you haven't already checked that out, I advise you to do so. We were talking about different things and we get on really some good topics. It's kind of like a meeting, but it's so loose. It's great because topics change. Somebody brings something interesting and, you know, we go off. And it was about, like, sometimes it's why we eat, why we had a weight issue. I never really thought about it. I never felt like I personally had a reason. I just felt like it was in my genetic makeup because I'm Italian. Not that that's, you know, but my family was big eaters and my family was big cookers and I have a runny nose. And we always, it was like everything was surrounded by food and not just a little bit of food, a lot of food. I mean, you would always, you know, could come to our house at any time. Like aunts came down a few times a week. That's how Italian families are. Well, it's how they were. I'm not quite sure how they are now. Back when I was growing up, we all came from big families, and my mother was one of 9, my dad was one of 7, and so we always. And my mother was more closer to her family than my father was. I shouldn't really say that. I mean, he was close to them, but they weren't the type of family that, like I guess, saw each other. Like my mother's sisters were like extra mothers to me. I saw my one aunt, one of my favorite aunts. I saw her every week. She was down, or we were over at her house every week. It was just, that's what we did. Holidays were always spent with their family. It was just crazy. Like, it's, you don't, you know, and I loved it, and I miss that. I miss that tightness and having that extra person look out for me, you know. And I grew up, and we started when I was older. I'd call her on the phone to see what she was doing. You know, I miss that, and I'd go see her, and I took the bus to her house just to hang out with her. She was so much fun, and you know, it makes me sad when you hear people aren't close to their family, because I grew up with, like I said, with aunts all the time. It was like, and then big family holidays. I mean, we always were either at somebody's house or somebody was at our house. It was never just us. And then the big Thanksgivings and the big Christmases, and the Christmas Eve was, when my husband first came to Christmas Eve dinner, he was what? And we had courses of food. I mean, there was food, there was desserts, there was dips and cheese and pepperoni and the big charcuterie. Now they call it charcuterie. We just call it a meat tray with the super side and the salami and the gabagool and the feet cheese. That's what I always call provolone, sharp provolone feet cheese. It stinks, but it's the bomb. Yeah, I've always had that. It was always in our refrigerator. We always had meats and cheeses because you never know who might show up, and there was always a spread. Always could put a spread out like that, and we were like considered back then poor for all intents and purposes. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad worked. He had a factory job. You know, he worked, I guess it was like 8 to 4 every day. But there was always food in the house. My mom was a great budger. She was a great creator of food and homemade everything. So there was always tons of food. And I think about it now, we never knew we were poor. Like, I never felt we were poor because there was always enough food. I was chubby, so obviously we had no food. But I guess because, like I said, we always had those bread bakeries that were really cheap, and we always had bread. Just to have like toast in the morning with a little bit of, I think we had margarine. I don't think we didn't have butter. No, we didn't have butter for the longest time. It was always margarine because it was cheaper. But slather that on there. Oh, I mean, really. It's the good old days. I miss those days. I miss that time. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. And I was born in 66, so pretty much late 70s. I was in with him, I can remember. But I love that time. It was so simple. We didn't have cell phones. We had to call people on the regular the dial telephone. Then we got push button. That was like, woohoo, push button phones. And oh, you on the phone? I need to make a phone call. We only had one line. And when people try to call, they get a busy signal because we didn't have the call waiting. Well, we did get call waiting when that came out. That was a dream because my parents always blamed, probably more me than my brother. Somebody was trying to call in. They were just getting a busy signal. Oops. But yeah. Or people picking up the phone and can listen on your conversations. I did that many a time. But yeah, just I don't know where I went with this, but I'm going over my childhood. Interesting. I guess there's the reasons why we eat. I guess, and I don't really can't put a finger on it. I ate for more memories. Everything that went on was always around food, so I associate food with normalcy and happiness. So if I had a big plate of food in front of me, I was happy. I'm still happy when I have a big plate of food in front of me. It doesn't happen very often. Yeah, I did splurge over the weekend. After my weight gain, and not that I splurged, but it was. I mean, it was a veggie panini, and yeah, you could sit there and say, "Oh, you had a panini," but it was vegetables. I didn't realize there was eggplant and zucchini and peppers, and there's mushrooms and asparagus and sun-dried tomatoes. Which I don't have points, but good. And I did have fries. I was going to opt out of the fries, but I thought to myself, you know what? You never have fries. I haven't had fries in a really, like restaurant, deep fried fries. I have fries at home, I bake. We're talking about deep fried, greasy ass fries. Yeah. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to keep the fries, and I always tell my husband I could throw them to him if, and I thought, you know what, if they're steak fries, I'm not eating them. I don't like steak fries. I like the regular French fries. I am a purist when it comes to my fries. So they came out. It wasn't a lot. It was a nice portion. I wasn't anything overly. It was a normal size portion. And they were awesome. They were perfectly cooked. They were crispy. And they were the kind of like they had that little ridgy on the outside, that little, like they're almost coated in something. Yeah, oil. But yes, I had the fries. And I had all the fries. I thought I was only going to have some, but I want you to. And let me tell you, when I got done, it was a panini, it was on the bread. I was stuffed. I haven't been that full in quite a while that my stomach hurt. And I knew I had probably went too far, but I thought to myself, it's Saturday, I have a whole week, and you know what, I never ever do it. And I thought to myself, I'm allowed to have a splurge. I had 48 weeklies and I had about 12 daily points left. I'm having this, and God forgive me if I gain this week. It's at least if I gain this week, I'll know why. It was the stinking fries and sandwich. But I made the choice. I could have had a side salad, but I thought I never get the fries. I just don't, and I wanted them. I thought, I really want the fries, and I'm going to give myself the fries because you know what? You gotta live once in a while, and I did, and I was happy with it. And I got the I don't care attitude, which cannot be good all the time because I was good on Sunday. I was good yesterday. So far, I had breakfast, but I've been good. So yeah, so it has not spiraled me, which is good. That's a good sign, right? I'm not spiraled. I stayed on plate on Sunday. I made the taco chicken in the crock pot, 0 points. That was my dinner over rice, which I had to count, of course. And I had a decent breakfast. Yesterday I had my carrot cake muffins. If you have not checked those out, you must. What's funny is I was trying to perfect this carrot cake jam, and the first time I made it was a hot mess because I used real pineapple and it just didn't break down. So the jam didn't come together as a jam, but it made a really great topping because it just didn't cohese together. It was kind of loose. So I put it on top of the pancake bites. It was fabulous. I had it this morning in my overnight oats. So I am riding the wave of the hot mess jam. I called it the hot mess because it really didn't work. But the next day, which is in the video, Sunday, I made the jam again with canned crushed pineapple, drained. Yes, squeezed out. You have to squeeze all the juice out. And it definitely has that jam consistency. It's spread, so it worked this time. And it's really, really good, and it's very low in points. I only had to count in the whole recipe the 5 points of raisins. And it makes a lot that you can, count on as a point if you want to, be safe. Or if you don't like raisins, you can leave the raisins out and count it as 0. It's your pull, boo. You do you, boo. That's it. You do you. A lot of Halloween stuff out today. So yeah, so it's really, really good. My husband had it on a bagel. I didn't ask how he liked it. He likes everything. So my mother would say, don't ask your husband because he'll eat shit. She was like, he does. He eats everything I cook. And he says it's all good. So I know he'll say it was good. So really, it's not a waste of time for me to ask him. But I'm curious because he had it loaded on his bagel this morning. And really, you're eating carrots. And I love that. In fact, I put some shredded carrots in my pancake bites this time. It was an extra shredded carrots because I shredded too much. So I put them in the microwave and cooked them up for like 2 minutes to soften them. And I threw them in the batter of the pancakes. Sometimes I'm just like, where does this stuff come from? They were awesome. It just was awesome. I never eaten carrots. So yes, that's a win-win in my book. Just saying. So yeah, so this vlog was supposed to be about what's eating us, and what's eating me, not much. Family, memories. I associate my memories with food. When I make my mother's, any of her stuff, like I make the stuffing that I make at Thanksgiving was her stuffing, but mine is I've taken up quite a notch from what she had. And hers was absolutely delish. Mine's is even. In fact, mine's is even. Listen to me. Mine's is even. She even said, wow, you made my stuffing, but you even made it better. I'm like, well, the apple don't fall far from the tree. She always like, after I moved out, she's like, you gonna bring me some stuffing? I said, of course. Stuffing's the best part. I'd rather have the stuffing than anything else. And I do indulge in my stuffing at Thanksgiving as well. Because most of my plate is 0 points, so I can indulge. What I do is I roast vegetables. I think I've said this a million times. I roast vegetables, I put my turkey on top, and I have my low point cranberry sauce and my stuffing. Sometimes I even have points for a roll. Depends. And my string beans, my deconstructed string beans. Yeah, I want to do them on a video before Thanksgiving because they're really good, and you'll never want the green bean casserole because these are just so much better, and you have all the components are there. The creaminess is there, the onions are there, the mushrooms are there, the string beans are there, and it's practically no points because I use almond milk, and it goes because I have almonds in it. It's insane. It really is. It's delish. All right, that's enough of that. If you enjoyed this vlog, started a vlog yesterday. I had to make a couple stops, and I hate broken vlogs because I lose my mojo and it just confuses me, which is really easy. I'm easily confused. So I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell, let you know additional uploads. If you have an idea for a vlog or would like me to chat about, leave it in the description box below. I appreciate the love. Anybody want to share me on social media, please feel free. Know somebody that needs my inspiration? Share me. I don't care. All right, guys, have a great and fantastic day. We will dish tomorrow.